When we speak about Homer, we speak about Hesiod, we have to understand that there is a relationship between politics and religion, in particular with Hesiod, but also with Homer. In Hesiod, in particular, because in the origins there was the chaos, and when there is the chaos, anything has a specific type of order. And when we speak about order, we speak about, for example, relation between A, B, C, etc. But this type of order in Hesiod arrived only when there are type of gods, in particular when there is a specific type of order between what is land and what is sky. This is interesting. The relation between land and sky. Land and sky is a relation with order. The universe uh, has to have an order. In Hesiod, in fact, in the Theogony, explain, for example, the gods. Who is the gods? Why there are the gods? Who is the gods? For example, the Olympian gods are important because they create a specific type of order. Why the Olympian gods? They are immortal, but they are no eternals. Because eternal, in fact, at the beginning it was the chaos. Therefore, the Olympian gods, for example, Poseidon, Zeus, Hades, they cannot be eternal, but they are immortal. In fact, they was born and live a life, an immortal life, and with this immortal life, they dominate dominate on things. For example, each god represents a particular element. For example, Poseidon represents sea, the ocean, the water. Zeus represents sky. Um, when it rains, it's it's a modality to create a relation between the land, or better, what is the relation with the land and the sky and the Olympus, Zeus, the god, the main god of Olympus, and also with with the death. Hades represents the death, the underworld, what is under the world, what is under the land, the travel, the journey of a soul. What is the journey of a soul? In the main creed of the ancient Greek society, that the soul goes to underworld when the body died. Therefore, if we cannot, if we don't do a good life in the real life in this land, in front of the sky, in front of the sun, in front of the gods, etc., we will we won't have a good life in the underworld, because everything, everyone in the underworld will live a bad life. In the, for example, this is the Homeric part, the Homeric vision. And in fact, in the poems of Homer, Iliad, and Odyssey, we can do this, in particular in Iliad. And this is interesting. In fact, according to Giambattista Vico, in any case, we can speak about a specific type of relation between religion of ancient Greek society, myth, because, for example, Homer explains about Achilles, Hector, Parides, etc., but also history. In fact, with this a lot of stories, etc. Achilles, his mother Thetis, the gods of Olympus, indirectly, probably, according to Giambattista Vico, this philosopher of the 18th century, we can explain that probably indirectly, as I said, these characters, these characters that are no existed, indirectly explain something that began, or and explained something that was in the history. For example, there are studies that explain how a possible Trojan War exists. This is really interesting. For example, Schliemann. And indirectly, therefore, Homer probably used these characters, used the Trojan Wars to explain a specific type of war that it was in the archaic period of the ancient Greek society. This is really interesting. Therefore, in the 7th century BC, a possible man, probably a man, we don't know, but probably a man, Homer, wrote some books, some poems to explain in a written way what that stories which was explained in an archaic part of the ancient Greek society before also Homer. But these stories arrived to him, and he created a relationship between these stories, and with a specific type of relation with his history and the history of the ancient Greek society, created probably a poem where I indirectly explain some facts. Not only probably, but some facts. And directly, for example, we can, if we think about this, only the aristocracy could participate at the defense of a territory in the ancient Greek society. In the ancient Greek poems, for example, in Iliad, this is relevant. This is a fact. Achilles, son of Thetis, son of Peleus, and the lord of Myrmidon, Agamemnon, the king of kings, Menelaus, the brother of Agamemnon, king of Sparta, Odysseus, king of Ithaca. These are all kings. These are all lords. This is really interesting. These are all a part of the aristocracy. Therefore, we can conclude that probably Homer, with this poem, Iliad, says something. And what does he say? Probably he says that attention, in the archaic period of the ancient Greek society, only the aristocracy could participate at the defense of the territory, and therefore could give some decisions. In particular, could participate at the public choice. And the Odyssey, the Iliad is an example of this, where Agamemnon has an important mission to do with his brother, etc., and create a relationship between the other aristocracy, the other aristocrats, and the aristocracy of the ancient Greek society. And directly, these Achilles didn't exist. But with these characters, and also with this character, the single character Achilles, we can understand the ideology of the ancient Greek society about war, for example. That war, which in the ideology was important to create a connection with the world, the physical world, against the underworld, where people in the underworld went in a bad life. Therefore, the ideology of Achilles, that it was also probably the same ideology that took Alexander the Great, if I do a good battles, if I do a good wars, therefore I went in the underworld, but in this ideology, in the ideology of ancient Greek society, I had I have done some good actions for my community in my life. This is a possible connection and topic that we have to consider, and I think that are really interesting. In fact, for example, Alexander the Great used read the Iliad, in particular also because his master was Aristotle. Read Iliad to support himself in these battles. And this is interesting because the connection in history probably it is really important, because this poem was used also from the ancient Greek people. Bye.